Good evening. I'd like to welcome you all here to Red Bone Springs Church of Christ. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a good day to praise the Lord. So something I want to talk about was at the end of Christ's life, whenever he was brought before Pilate and the Romans, they could not find any fault in him. They went through various trials and they judged him, multiple different people, but yet they couldn't find anything wrong with him. But still, the multitude cried for him to be crucified. Crucify him, crucify him. Pilate released Barabbas upon the wishes of the people. And after he released the murderer, he washed his hands of the blood of Christ. So something I'd like to talk about tonight is what washing your hands signified in those times, what it means in the Bible, and how it applies to us today. Go over the custom of washing hands. Roman and Jewish officials saw washing your hands as a sign of authority and distinction from unholy commoners. They saw the population as dirty, as unholy, and they thought they were better, and that distinction was made clear if you washed your hands. But the commoners, the vast amount of the population, they didn't wash their hands because they couldn't. They didn't have clean water. They didn't have anything to wash their hands with. So if you felt yourself as an authoritative figure, you thought you were better, you washed your hands before you ate. In Matthew chapter 15, the Pharisees accused Christ's disciples of not washing their hands before they ate bread. And they were saying that this defiled them. It defiled them from taking in bread with unclean hands. That unwashed hands defiled a man, but Christ went on to say that it's not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out. But right here, the Pharisees were saying, your disciples, your followers, they're bad people. Eat bread. They don't clean their hands of the things of this world. They're not set apart like we are. We're so holy, we wash our hands. So both Romans and Jewish authorities saw it as a higher place if you could wash your hands. Romans would ritually wash their hands before sacrifices at their temples. When they went to the temple to sacrifice to one of their gods, they would wash their hands and would not be on their hands. To keep the temple cleansed of all of that unholy and dirty blood, so that it all would go to their gods, but the temple and their hands would stay clean. So before sacrifices, they would wash their hands. And you notice when Pilate knew that he would be sacrificing Christ, he knew Christ was something greater, and he knew he was sentencing him to death, he washed his hands, because that's what Romans done. When they were about to make a sacrifice, they would wash their